On Cash, it seemed as though VG were ready for anything. They had a nice comeback. It looked steady, it looked calm, it looked considered, and everything was good. And they closed it out, even though they had a rough start. Dust.2, not so much. We started to see the holes. We started to see them crack. We started to see them fray at the seams, James, because their T-side offered absolutely nothing. And now we're finally seeing a bit of that stand-in factor where clearly they had a lot of makeshift improvised plays that did not work out very well, and Boot had a field day.
Yes, they did, and see some highlights from Dust.2 here. But moving into Inferno, I don't know who to favour now. I think who has the stronger T side might be the defining factor here to creating an overwhelming lead. So whoever starts on the T side first, or otherwise closing it out on the second half. So that's where I stand on things. Do you have a favourite moving into the third map?
I think it's a more. I'm thinking that VG will probably settle into it. I think similar to Mirage, I think Inferno is it's a map that has been in the pool for ages. You know, we're not having to see because Dust.2 is a map that's just come back in, and if you're playing with a stand-in, I think it's a bit rough. We're seeing even pretty well-seasoned teams having problems remembering all of the right smokes and flashes and protocols on the T side and CT side alike on Dust.2. So it's very easy to go to it and think, oh, I can just frag out because that's, you know, Dust.2's friendly to puggy play. But at the professional level, you do need those details, and people are having to remember that. Inferno, though, I think Inferno, you know, it has had some changes, but it's just been there. And I think it's been a steady map for everyone. And in the Asian scene, from what I understand, too, it's also been like the favorite map as well, so, or like one of, so.
Yeah, Inferno's always been a popular map. For me it's 50-50, but we will find out soon enough. The knife still needs to take place, so we'll see who starts on the CT side. Just waiting for one VG player to join the server at the moment. Let us know your thoughts on who you might think will win this one at FACEIT, at James Bardoff, at DDKE Sports, Electronic Sports.
Yes. It's very hard to predict, but it's been fun watching the players from the Asian region in the minor. It's always an interesting look, and I feel as though, from what I've already seen, there's been a lot of improvements, which is really cool because, you know, when we get to these minors and we just like isolate like particular regions as opposed to seeing, you know, one of these teams up against, you know, a FaZe or up against somebody that's, you know, from a different region entirely. I feel like you get to really see sort of where they're at in a more comfortable space for them, and sort of you can get a better projection as to where they'll be in the future as well. And I do think that things have improved massively. Like, I mean, like earlier seeing Scars, you know, that was really impressive. They actually played really good Counter-Strike, actually. They had all of the pieces, they were thinking in the right ways, and they're a team that's absolutely on the right track. And I don't think I've necessarily seen a Japanese team play before, so that's really encouraging. And then obviously moving into VG, you know, there's been some struggles with the roster, and, you know, Boots have had their ups and downs, and but all these teams have players that can play some good Counter-Strike. They have good mechanics, and the team play, the theory is starting to line up with that, so that's really encouraging for the region.
Yeah, I love watching Counter-Strike from Asia, Oceania. It's really cool. It's lovely because you get to, I mean, just the teams, the players, you get to, just being exposed to different regions is really enriching, I think. And it's great to see how things progress in different areas and nations and so on, and how players progress as well. But it's cool to see, you know, we've had some players from Europe playing for, was it Tyloo? Was it Bonde who played for Tyloo or something like that?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's crazy. But it's interesting, more in the coach positions like DSN and so on. That's really cool. VG have won the knife rounds, so one would presume that they'll be starting on the CT side of this decider map between these two teams. That's
actually perfect for them because, you know, worrying about the T side or whatever, like, oh, you know, you have to play both halves and everything like that, sure. But, you know, VG, they're going to have their best chance on the CT side, and so if they can get a really strong start in those 10 or 11 rounds, then all they need is to start well on the next half. They won't have to grind out on the next half, per se, so that's a really big difference. So let's see if they can take the pistol to start off well, or whether Boot will have something to say about it. Boot. Well, there's a quick dink on Lovey. You hate to see that as a CT. You feel useless when you get dinked like that.
Tommy is...
Oh my god, Fancy's on 1.
1 HP.
Yeah.
Tommy is clearing out the apartments in the meantime. Where is the smoke headed? Towards the pits, perhaps? Jumping smoke? Let's see. No one in the balcony position. Tommy is by the boiler area, though. He's making his way out. Indeed, 2 smoke grenades, but there will be some counter grenades from the CT side in that position. And there are 2 players waiting on Banana, so it looks like we're going to be wrapping the B bomb site. They've been told a fake, VG, and Freeman is on his own in construction. You see the race is on to make it to the site. They're getting tagged but not fragged. Yes, Freeman with a nice 1 tap. Can he get the second one? He can. Holding down construction on his own. Big plays from Freeman.
Yeah, this is really important because his teammates, 3 of them, are basically dead already. He's the only guy with any help, and he's going to get most of the kills there. 3, that was brilliant from him. It's really rough because, you know, VG, they opted to peek early in the round, which is something you kind of need to do as the CTs, but sometimes it happens that you just get dinked. 2 players get dinked, and then you can't do anything. So they go passive on the bomb site, and it's susceptible to things like splits, but really well handled by Freeman. He looked very confident. And we saw great stuff from him in the previous map too, so looking forward to seeing more from him. The Julies come out again.
Julies!
On Impression.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it is. It is interesting. That's one way to say that it's crap. Oh.
Bish bash bosh. What were you saying, Dan? I didn't say anything. It was all you. Freeman, you need to stay alive. 14 HP is a problem for the retake there. Did his best, but now what do they choose to do? As I expected, he will give his M4 to Z8Z and take the MP9 instead. There are 4 flashbangs here for the CT side. They can try to smoke off Banana, for example, but the frags keep coming for Boots. 3 versus 1 now, and somehow he gets a 1v1 Lovey. There are the dig shots, the meat shots, bish, bash, bosh to finish off the round. Tommy was engaging for the double peek if needed, but perhaps it was not needed. Boot with a very quick response to VG, which will probably force VG into a force.
Yeah.
Force the force.
That sucks, doesn't it? On that CT side. Although, I mean, compared to Dust 2 at least, the force buys on the CT side of this map can be effective. Whereas generally on Dust 2, it's really hard if the other team is playing correctly. Slow start, and bomb is being left passively. Taking top middle. Molotov there. Oh, they're taking initiative here with these pistols. And that's a great defense from Impression. Really strong defense. Oh, Lovey has to come up pretty huge here. Get some damage. We'll distract these players. Oh, there's potential here for Freeman with that deagle. Oh, we can't get the second one, though. And that will be that, I think. The bomb will go down. Z8Z. Does he keep the CZ alive, or what is the optimal thing for him here?
He has Kevlar as well. 1 versus 4. If he could make his way into apartments, it feels like it's a long way now, but he could drop the HE, as we've seen before, in the pit position. But he's so far away, I don't think it's even worth trying to make his way over there, because 4v1, I'm sure Boot will be having an exit strategy. So we'll see how far he chooses to go. But this is a great situation for Boot. It makes life easier winning the second one rather than the first one, because now VG's money's in the pits. They went for the force buy, they failed, almost everybody's dead. So there are lots of things that are fantastic for Boot moving forward in this position. 4 rifles saved here, unless Z8Z can do something. Doesn't look like they will engage any further in this particular round. So there are many advantages for Boot at present.
It's quite funny because whenever you say boots, it just, I don't know, it just sounds strange.
Why does it? It's just a word in English.
I don't know. It's just.
What's wrong with you?
For boots, I keep thinking that it's like, you know, singular boots, which is it's just I don't know. It just sounds fun, quite funny to me. I'm enjoying it though. I'm enjoying saying boots.
You enjoy that. I
am enjoying it. I'm also enjoying Boots' success. You know, they're doing pretty well. It's been fun watching some of their plays and their aggression. And they've got a free bomb site, which is nice. And hopefully VG do not give money away to them. I wonder if they'll hunt. I mean, Tommy should absolutely go hunting. It's hunting time for Tommy. Impression will steal one away, though. Let's see what money Tommy can make. Give me the money. Oh, there's... Oh, stolen again! Impression's just taking everyone.
Nice.
Okay, so finally, a buy can come in. But look at how terrible it's going to be. There's no money for an AWP. Well, I say terrible. It's not going to be terrible. It's going to be okay. But you do want an AWP. They can't afford the incendiaries. And having incendiaries early on for the CT side is really cool because it allows you to start really fighting for banana. And the T side, if they realize you don't have great utility, they can just take banana really easily. And for a very low cost. So that's what's going to happen here. They've already got one guy on banana. And they're trying to take apartments. So the control game is going really well here, very early on for Boots.
Yeah, standard clear outs. Ready to investigate the apartments a little more. Although Tommy's lining up a Molotov, perhaps for the short position, we shall see. And Vichy Gaming with a classic flashbang setup. Here comes the investigation from FACEIT. One free kill from it, taking his time. That smoke grenade is really strong to isolate and cause problems for T aggressors. But let's see. In the meantime, Boot have taken top mid. Now, Lovey's in the corner of the site. Z8Z in the pit. Freeman in CT spawn. Not quite sure what's going on. But there are 40 seconds remaining for Boot to make their play.
Yeah, no nades really left here for the CT side indeed, so it's going to be a little bit easier to get in there. A smoke finally dropped. Oh, actually not by the CTs though. And they'll start pushing forwards, but down to 3 players. That's a very important frag. Removing the pit player. Bobasaur coming to life. Lovey on the box in the corner will get sprayed through by Bobasaur. Just the casual check. The one will go down in the corner of the site by Impression, and Ben Kai is going to pick up the pieces, pick up the slack. Now Bobasaur's down, and Shirking is going to be back to these sites, looking for the push, looking for an unaware T player, but he is quite known in that position, and Ben Kai will meet him. And that is what a save from Boots. They were walking into the site with 3 players, and Bobasaur just walks in and just wrecks everyone.
Bobasaur's doing it big.
Oh, I love that he knows that angle there. That's so important.
Sly look at the camera. Are you looking at me? Yes, we are. Fiji back on the pistols once again. This is a dangerous spy. These are weapons that need to be dealt with by Boots. But this is 4 rounds in a row now. Since the pistol, VG have gone missing.
Yeah. I fear for them if they don't get CT rounds also. I mean, judging by Dust too, doesn't give me a lot of faith in their T side. Splash ski. Looking for the cheeky peek.
4 mollies.
Oh, that's going to be good.
Actually, the HE on the higher ground.
Nice. So, oh my god, what's going on here? These pistols are rattling off, and that's the bomb. Oh no, the worst has happened, and the bomb has been lost, but at least they have time to try to deal with this. Oh my god, the smoke! Oh my god, they threw it so short. Now Ben Kai is in all sorts of problems. He's spraying through might be one of his best chances, and that's a terrible thing to say. I mean, the chances can't be very good if that's the case, and he will actually be able to grab the bomb, and there is time here, and he's going to go checking. Surely he doesn't do this indeed. A superior angle for Z8Z, geometric advantage, and that is very depressing for Boots. They had the rounds in their clutches, but these last couple kills coming in just all of a sudden. Players getting picked off on the rotation. All kinds of problems. The main consideration now, though, is can VG start to stabilize? Full buy for both teams. AWP out on Splashski. AWP out on Fancy. Fast Apartments takes comes in. Oh, that's a good nade.
That's a meaty nade. That's the Reuben sandwich of grenades. It's chunky. It's moist. It's dripping with meatiness. I don't know what that means. 1 minute 20 on the clock. Boot have adventures to take up the top of Banana. Freeman coming back towards Arch after some adventures in CT spawn. Splashed impression now in position. But what will they have to offer? In the meantime, there's a burst through the smoke. I love when I see a burst. Top mid, very rare, still dangerous. You can't really flash everything, especially if people are playing behind the pillars on short. But here we are. Ooh, pop flash off. The bolts-esque smoke on the balcony, but there's a preemptive smoke grenade from VG as well. But Benkai is still going to creep in front of it. This man's been on the YouTubes. Ooh, who is going to see what first? I mean, he's kind of stuck there, but forced away. Oh, Lovey just creeps up top mid and sees what's going on, sees the bomb as well, almost gets that third kill. Benkai, he's announced his position, but he can't get the frag. Really awkward for both sides. Freeman by the library now, coming out to support his teammate, sees the drop and swats. This is really tough for Boot, stuck on the short position. And now Bobasaur. If anyone can, it's the Bobasaur. Ignoring the player, shooting behind him, getting the kill, but there's not enough time to win the round.
Or was that after time, or was that before time?
Oh, I'm not sure.
That was really close. Okay, he was fine.
It was great timing on the smoke on the balcony from the CT side. Pretty much ruins a lot of what Benkai wanted to do, because he was going to lurk behind the smoke, as you see bolts do. And who knows what might have happened, but of course the Brazen peak top mid. No warning, no grenades. Worked out perfectly.
What time of the round was it when Lovey peaks? I didn't check that.
I don't know.
It's good to note the timing of it at 30 seconds. Okay, thank you, production. So yeah, it's good to note the time on the clock when teams decide to peak, because it obviously tells you like how they're reading the rounds and when they want to make an information play. So that was a very late one and a very timely one, it would seem, of course. So Boots, they are lacking the Mahanis. Going to go for a half buy. And let's see if that's going to be all that good for them. They have only 3 grenades. One of the smokes already deployed by Impression. Where did it go? Okay, went to Banana, I presume.
Normally the grenade you saw thrown into second mid is bounced off the balcony rather than the multiple peaks there. 4 players for Boot making their way around the arch position, and Dead8 said has got a lot to do and is unable to do any of it. What now?
Oh dear.
3 players for the CT side, and they've got no money in the bank. If they hold on to these weapons, Fancy's got 5,600, so they can drop around them, and they've made the right decision. Yes, they are ill-equipped Boot, but they have the numbers, and that means a hell of a lot when you've got position as well. So VG will move towards the B bomb site and hold on to what they have, which is a fair amount. They've got a lot of grenades as well with these 3 players. Again, Fancy has 5,600 in the bank. So he may even be able to drop 2 rifles, and away they go.
Yeah, it's sad to lose a round like that, but at least they survive with 3, not 2, as you say. But that does, I think Boot are discovering that there's potential. There's a lot of potential in A. Obviously, you know, Z8Z is on A. He's anchoring pits, so I think maybe they feel as though that's some part of the map that they can exploit a bit better than others. And obviously, if you can ever get a wrap like this, you should just do it, because it's just so strong. Wrapping onto the site makes all the positions on the site itself really hard. The pit guys suddenly split between 2 positions, and that makes the balcony play way stronger. And, well, just running up mids, that's very bold. And Fancy will have that. He'll be very happy.
Boot moving into the balcony. Again, it's time to clear the apps. Two men on the Arch position for VG. They're playing the bait setup. In the meantime, there's a push on Arch, and they continue to chase this AWP, and the second time will be too much. And I love he has a weird decision. There are 2 smokes down, but before they went down, does he try to trade his teammate? If he does, then they have no eyes towards B or no protection towards B whatsoever. So he chooses to back off. They took a risk, didn't work out. Summer has rotated as well, if necessary. Sorry, Fancy. He has the AWP as well. So that will be a nasty surprise, and it seems he will switch positions with Lovey.
Yeah, Lovey's floating all the way back. He's going to be very key in helping them defend this. And Z8 said once again going down instantly. This is a really bad sign here for VG. Struggling massively to hold this A site. And Fancy on the retake with an AWP. I'm not sure that's going to be happening here indeed. He will back away, just holding a defensive angle. And I do wonder if they want to swap up positions, or if they're considering that, or how they interpret this, VG that is. Because they are really having a struggle on that A sites.
How will they change their fortune? What is the situation now? Their loss bonus is in the bin. It's in the toilet, so that's not going to help them.
In the bin.
It's in the bin. What do they do with the AWP? Do they smoke top mid and try to boost behind the smoke? Most teams would expect that when there's an early smoke from the CT side and send some fire in that direction. Bulbasaur is a problem. It's almost a pre-fire over the Vesper there. Pretty sick stuff from Mr. Bulbasaur. Right then, Fancy, what is your play? Are you going towards the apartments? Is he going towards short to keep an eye on Boiler? Maybe it's the latter. Is he going to peek down mid? I think he might do. In the meantime, Benkai with the P90, baby!
Nice.
Nice. The cannon not really checking first oranges. That is a mistake, but it won't cost them. And they have completely averted the AWP. Now, Fancy, I mean, the focus now is to save the AWP, but I do wonder if Boot will hunt.
So this is really smart. Like, I think sometimes teams, they don't feel as though like playing fast rounds against ecos is good, but it can be really strong because you don't need picks so much as you do need positioning on rounds like this. You know, you want that position on the bomb side, of course, if you can, because then as soon as you get a plant, you're playing post plant. The pistols just do not have anything to say about that. So, oh, maybe the AWP is going to go down here. Oh, what's going to happen here? Oh, go get him!
Absolute madness. Carnage in the last few seconds, heavily favoring Boot. I mean, we had 2 recent rounds from VG Gaming, but they seem to be in a lot of trouble on their CT side.
I think Boot are going to win this series at this rate, because it's just that VG seem very disconnected on A. I don't know if it's because of the stand-in or what, but I mean Z8Z is the pit anchor, and he's on 2 frags for 8 deaths. That's not a good sign. He's swapped out to the arch position now, and instead Freeman, who is perhaps playing the best for VG, is now on pit instead. So that might tell you something about how they interpret this.
But yeah, that's a big problem if you have to switch positions mid-game in a professional match. But let's see, maybe it will do the trick. Freeman under the on the balcony for the time being. Benkai is starting to throw his grenades again. Summer making his way back to the A site. Freeman's been picked off. So it seems the role reversal won't be... I'd love to see his perspective from that, if he's creeping out. I don't know if they're prepared for those kinds of smokes. I don't know how common they are in the Asian region.
Yeah, that looks like a dirty one-way.
I mean, you can create space to look into the site without being seen from pit and other things. But he picked off the player, I think he was on the balcony. So I'm very curious to see how that one played out. But that's absolutely savage.
VG looking more and more lost right now. More and more lost.
Maybe they need to get aggressive in the apartments and take Benkai out, because I feel like a lot of the rounds, I won't say most, but a lot of the rounds he's dropping that smoke, and I mean he could just put that smoke down and not do anything behind it. He could be lurking A on his own and drop that smoke later on in the round, and that's going to be enough of a problem because he just killed 2 players in pit and the site with no trade. So there are problems here. Ooh, okay. So maybe, I mean, normally you'd have more of an off angle from Freeman, but perhaps because of the smoke, he knows his teammates are exposed on the site and it compromises where they can stand, so he's deeper and he gets wrecked anyway.
Yep. Yeah, that's something that's like these tactics. do require like a pretty strong answer. Otherwise, you know, as you say, like that smoke gets dropped, it affects your rotation. The guy doesn't even have to do anything behind that smoke. But just like knowing the danger and the positions it compromises, suddenly you have to change your positions a bit. And they tried moving Z onto playing Arch instead of Pit because he was not able to hold anything from the Pit position so far. And that's obviously not ideal.
There we go. Got 3-man on road down the middle position, and no one is checking for this. Oh, a team kill, but can they stabilize? 2 players top mid, but they're afraid of the players above them. So this is getting unusual. Summer, there we go. Gets there in the end. I think he was just waiting for the player to land to make sure his shots landed. I thought he might escape. An expensive round, but Boot really don't care at this point. They are falling over their cash. All good for them.
This is really grim. I actually thought this would be a better look for VG, but it's been a struggle. Boots. Boots. Having good times. And the adjustment here for VG.Flash, I wonder. Freeman's on the AWP with no Kevlar. That's a sacrifice many an AWPer has made. The glass cannon, that's a brilliant pick off. FACEIT is dead. Very nice from Impression. Already putting the T's into a 5 versus 4. And he finds that pick by just going super aggro. And that just tells you how confident Boots are feeling right now. And it's going to once again cause the rotation, a 2-2 split. VG have done this every time. And, okay, Lovey's going to go back to A. Yes, he will. I think that's smart. I think they can definitely bank on A. But this will be a B split, I think, judging on how the players are positioned. So that means Lovey will be very critical.
Arch smoke took a while to land. But land it did. 53 seconds remaining. Lovey going back towards the B bomb site. Pure guesswork. But now there's entries towards A. Does he go back? No, he's still over towards B. The bomb is in the middle of second mid though, so someone has to rotate and pick it up. Now, Boot are in a good position. I don't know why they're still pushing B at this point, because they're in a good position to push Arch and Short at the same time with the 3 players on A, so I'd expect a player from B to rotate the bomb, which is what is eventually happening. Freeman is on his own in a very awkward position. That's a headshot. That was disgusting, but it's not enough. VG Gaming, the last 2 players up top mid. Tommy is ready for one. Not ready for the other one, but he's got the info for his team. Bomb needs to go down, and it will be an exposed plant.
I was really curious what the hell was going on there for Boot for a while, because they had the team in on Banana, 3 pushing into A, and then I forget who dropped it, but someone was in apartments with the bomb, and he threw it out the window into second mid where there was no one, and his teammates were so far away from it. Very strange, but it's worked out for them. Once again, they just get the better of VG individually and as a team right now. So another round in which the bomb goes off. There's been a lot of bomb plants and bomb detonations.
Yeah.
This will be the 6th one.
All the bomb plants.
So really good T side right now from Boots. They are loaded on money as well. And oh, it's such a struggle for VG. It's hard. It's hard for them for sure. So King going to be making his way towards B. And they got a Mag 7 on Lovey. Yes.
Don't see those very often these days. Well, that's an early casualty in Shoking on Banana. Nothing really going the way of VG at the moment. 2 more players on the Banana position. Will Boot go for a fast round with that early pick? We've got Fancy here with the AWP. He's got to get something going. Ooh, that's a really tight angle by the logs. And the smoke will be deployed. There's a push through it, and he's caught completely off guard. Pulling his knife out, thinks it's safe. That smoke is not a brick wall.
Yeah, I think he suddenly regretted his decision to stay out there. You can tell from these plays, from Shoking, from Fancy, that they're desperate right now. They're really desperate. And they're probably feeling a little bit stressed out by this, the way this map has been going. And those desperate plays have not served them all that well this round. Boots, I always called them boats. Boats. Boot. are going to make their way into B, and they've got the numbers advantage. Ooh, that impression was very far away from his teammates, but that's okay, maybe, unless the Max 7 goes off, but it will only get 1, and that should be the rounds.
I think Splash is safe to rotate now. 3 versus 1. Still on Banana.
Bulbasaur.
Bulbasaur is a problem.
He is, yeah. I like that. I like that sentence.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Bulbasaur is a problem.
Bulbas.
What a great name. Best name of the minor so far. Bulbasaur. How can you not be a fan of that?
Yeah, we need t-shirts. Well, not us, but you. You need t-shirts. Last round of the first half. And it has been difficult. I'd say it's gone as I expected. Not necessarily for Boot, but I expected that one of the two teams would have a very strong T side, and that would maybe dictate the match. Boot have done that so far, but there's still a match to be closed out, and VG could entirely do the same in their half, but they'll really desperately need this 4th round. They've already lost a man, though, as have the Ts, but of course it has bigger implications for the CT side, who have struggled pretty much every single round.
Free smoke from Shoking. A 1-3 split from VG. Again, A has been the sore spot, the sorest of spots. But Shoking is all alone on B with an MP9, so VG are really hoping that they go A. Unfortunately, they're about to find out. B bomb side is not going to be all that friendly of a place to be. Shoking, information play, he's seen everything. That was a great flash, but with the MP9, he does not get the damage done. The CT smoke has been set down. The Ts will await the spray, move after the reload, get the bomb planted, thrown across. And now it's a 3v4 retake.
Bomb has been planted. 4 versus 2 in favor of Boot. Freeman getting tagged, trying to avoid a double peek. ZXZ, he did something. Look at the re-peeks there, completely unnecessary in a 1 versus 3. All he needs to do is wait for his teammate to engage on Banana and then peek out. But there's no fear from Boot, and that kind of thing, like, you know what the correct play is. That's psychological warfare there. So I'm going to peek you anyway. I'm just going to continue to peek you again and again and again and again and again, even though I don't need to and I probably shouldn't. 12-3 for Boot, a landslide T-half. VG must win the pistol.
Yeah, it's going so well for Boot. I mean, I feel really bad for VG just because it feels like... I feel like we've all been there. We've all played that Inferno where like one site is just like very weak and it's getting targeted and you don't know how to fix it, and it sort of causes a bit of a breakdown and it causes frustration. It causes issue with comms and people get demoralized. You know, it can have all kinds of negative repercussions when you lose in that way. So now VG have all the pressure to make this pistol a good one. Let's see if they can do it. They will march very quickly into the A sites, looking for the headshots, but it is they who shall be shot in the face. Bulbasaur is sniping away, but he has been taken down from the balcony.
Awkward jaws for Splash. He'd be lucky to get something from this. Freeman forcing the issue, and that compromises the positions of these last 2 players in the arch position. So far, so good for VG. The grenade goes flying in, and Freeman goes flying out with the frag. Oh, Freeman is on fire now. 4 kills for him in that pistol round. All very needed indeed. That is the must-win round. 1 round at a time now for VG Gaming. Let's see what Boot choose to do. 4 spies are slowly sliding in. Big plays from Freeman. In a challenging position, and he delivered. Everybody, this is a full force buy from Boot. No one saving for a sniper rifle. They are going all the way with this one.
Quick jump spot. And a flashbang as a response here from Boot. Looking to see what they can get. That's all the utility gone though now. If only they had some smokes, that'd be awesome, but no Smokerino. Only headshots for them now. That's the only way they can do this. Oh, they've got to be so quick, so good. Impression is boosted up. That's a good dink. That is a very nice dink. So Impression boosted up. We've got Benkai trying to steal attention away with that CZ. And he might be crossing to the site. Shoking. Ooh, that deep crouch peek. And suddenly there's problems. Benkai is not even the guy on the boost. They're going to push into B now. And Impression's waiting. Okay, that was a good cross. And, okay, thank God. That's really nice from Fancy. And they're starting to make things work. That could have gone wrong, but Fancy knew how to deal with that smoke. He knew the risk. He knew that if Benkai was standing in that position, that a boost was possible. Very, very good cognizance from Fancy.
Through the smoke. Feel like we've been here before, but what choice do they have at this point? VG close it out. They can start to feel that momentum, feel the power of the AKs in their hands. This is another round with which to do that. USP round, USP round.
USPs.
All right then. Vichy Gaming. Looking at 6-12 here, half the score of their opponent. Boot won't be starting with an AWP, I do not believe. This should be a formality. A money-making round for VG with the MAC-10 leading the charge. Fancy keeping them honest. Down Banana, and then he's just containing. Splash has made his way into apartment somehow. He's just creeping with his knife out. And yeah, wishful thinking there. All right then, Impression. Fancy's too far away from Impression to try and punish that reload. There we go, a clean round for Vichy Gaming. Exactly what they wanted, needed.
Thank God it's over.
Yeah, that too. And now comes a big round for the T's.
Man, I miss playing. It's been so long. It's been so long. Okay, got the, as mentioned, the, well, not really, well, it is a full buy, but it is lacking. Although I like that the UMP in FAMAS is prioritized to get grenades as opposed to getting M4 with nothing. M4 with nothing is worse than UMP with all nades. Ooh. Where on earth is that going to land on next to the wall? Okay, well, there goes the flashbang. A little bit too late. Indeed it was there for the wall. So that's not worked out for Impression. He's going to have to deliver now with the UMP. It's going to be difficult. Multiple opponents. Oh, he gets one of the healthy players down to 12 HP, but he doesn't get any frags, which might be problematic. Splashski in a decent position. But I don't know if they want this. Obviously, they know one player is dinked. I think that was very visible that Impression dinked Lovey. But I don't know if they realize that another player is very low. And with with all those uncertainties and no nades left, and do they even have a kit? They don't. That's a wrap. Got to go for the save straight away. And that play on the B bomb site from Boot looked very disjointed. Like, for example, like, we saw the way that the nades came in, just like really it was not effective, even in the slightest. So we'd have to be cautious about that. And if I were in VG's position, I would continue to try and pressure Banana heavily to see if more mistakes are made there to be abused. That looks very nice from Fancy. Oh my god! If you look at the top of the screen, just only T rounds have been won. 3 CT rounds in this entire game so far have been won.
That's rough.
All T rounds. Ooh, that's a lot of players. That's a great flashbang. Good response though, coming in from Fancy. Bobasaur. Oh, Bobasaur is no more.
Vichy Gaming continue to enjoy these AK-47s. Benkai in the smoke with the Deagle. Can his team run distraction? Can it offer a grenade? Something to take the attention away. Checking the smoke, but his head is showing. And there is the Deagle, but Benkai's got one more behind him in the boiler position. And the trade is there. Impression won't leave an impression this time. another round in the bag for VG Gaming. All of a sudden, they are only 4 rounds away, and there has been no answer from Boot, not yet. Boots, they've got the money now to have a much better buy. They will take a timeout. The AWP can be here if they want it. I feel like this will maybe be their first good buy of the half.
It will be, yeah. Yeah.
After 5 rounds.
Yeah, I mean, it's they went for the force buy after they lost the pistol, and whenever teams do that on Inferno, they always just have a terrible first buy, and they always lack grenades, they always lack incendiaries. There's never an AWP, so that's really the sacrifice that is made. Unfortunately, you can still have pistols in that first round. You just don't have, like just only spend like $700 instead of spending, you know, $1,500. That's what makes the difference. That extra $700, $800. Quick push on Banana, and it's already a player lost here. Splashski is on the bench. Bobasaur spreading that love, spreading the damage. Gets 1 frag and a lot of damage onto another player. That's good. But they have to finish him off, and it's them, it's they who are being finished off here. A very solid push towards the A site, and VG finding way more comfort on this T side.
This is crazy. How many frags are the CTs even getting in these rounds? Like, not many. Most of the rounds, I think it's like an average of 1 frag. Cool. So what is the answer?
So Benkai has managed to find himself an AWP. Wait, did he buy it?
I'm sure somebody bought an AWP. Tommy spent 6,100, so.
Well, this will go a long way into the next round. So hopefully they can keep it alive. That's the challenge now. Oh.
Get some aggression in the naps. Let's go. Got to spawn for it. Although it might not be the AWP of choice. Just see Splash had the AWP at the beginning of the round. Just charging through the smoke. Seen a few bursts. Not sure if that smoke was entirely in the right place, to be honest, but... Right then, they've bought around this AWP. Splash having a look down mid. And there are 4 players in second mid. Tommy dropping us a grenade. I'd like to see the AWP in the apartment. It's just something different to try and get an early advantage. That probably would have been a guaranteed frag, the way Shoking peeked that, just as 1 player. Nobody with an angle into apps. Splashes over towards Arch instead. But they could spot this position. Good for 1 frag. The numbers game is here as they charge into the pit position. I think Bobasaur had to move around that smoke a little more. The bomb's been spotted, and Splash has some wiggle room to get a second kill. It's just guesswork here for VG Gaming. Ooh. Misses the flick, 2-on-2.
Off the plant position. Now it's a 1v2. Fancy in the open by Pit. That's a good first frag. Popping Benkai, and he's 1 more. Impression will go down as well. Nice hold there from Fancy, and I like the push from VG. One of the small details of that push, which was really cool, was they went with the balcony pop with I think 4 players, and they smoked quad. So if you smoke quad, you're going to pull a lot of attention towards Arch side, because that is very indicative that you're going to focus on that Arch side push, because why would you push through a smoke on quad? So they pulled some CT rotations, and in doing that, they were way more open and exposed when the players popped out of balcony. And then the balcony players immediately had a smoke that went on top of the CTs at Moto. So that was actually like a very simple but very nice fast-paced push with some just like 2 really good smokes. So that was a nice round from VG.
I wonder if this is telling of one of the longer-term issues in Asian Counter-Strike is, like, I feel like we need some adaptation and some aggression in an unexpected position on the CT side, but I didn't feel like we've necessarily seen too much of that. Again, like a list of plan Bs, like once more, Vichy are allowed to take apartments for free every single round, just as Boot were on their T side. So they're allowed to get into position in the same fashion every round and then do what they want to do afterwards. Smoke down on Banana, and there are 3 CTs making a push there to see what's going on behind the smoke. They won't see anything, but Lovely and Summer are just starting to move up.
Quiet poke and prod. Not so quiet anymore. Bobasaur. Bobasaur with the Deagle. Doing damage. VG in an awkward position now. They've got to rush into the A site before the rotation gets here. And that is a very dead Z8Z. Fancy in the 1v2. Does he have time to get a good position? He does, but he will not know that, and so he'll stay in the site, looking to isolate the players with the off angle. Sees one, looking for the trade fragger. He knows that that player that he just spotted is going to try to take attention to allow a backstab. Good game sense from Fancy, but he can't win the fight. Another round here for Boots.
Well, one round.
One round for Boots.
The problem is they're only surviving with 2 players, and again, if they get reset, the way things are going, could that be the game for Vichy at this point? Considering what was required to win this round, some Deagle play from Bobasaur to get them into a good position, and then away they went. But you feel like this is all a T-sided game of Inferno. So the money's with Vichy as well. They can constantly keep up the pressure. Ooh. They both miss. Very aggressive from Fancy.
Man, imagine if Bobasaur was the best player in the world. Bobasaur.
Make a bust of the Bobasaur. There we go. Impression. Not liking that damage on Banana. 1 minute 20 on the clock. Plenty of grenades being deployed. And it seems that the utility of Boot will be depleted pretty early. Impression has a smoke in the hole, but he's leaving the B-bomb site with his smoke in his hand. In his pocket. Now what?
Slow creep. Nicely done. And we'll continue to push though. And Benkai will be the victim. Splashski will stay alive, but the smokes are going to lock down these positions for the time. Ooh, that's a close one. Doesn't land the mark though. Freeman, he's been incredible for VG. Let's see if he can keep it up. He's in the pole position. It's a strong one.
Ooh, that's a big one.
Is Fancy's position with the AWP also very strong, and the CT's now gathering towards construction, looking to get their way in here. Deep flash for them to push construction into the site. Fancy's looking for the long duel. He's going to win that one. Headshot, no less. And now the CTs have to make their way into forward positions. There's no time, and the lineup is great for Z8Z, and he'll take it down.
See the desperation push at the end there. They know there isn't enough time, but what can they do at that point? And that is worst case scenario. Do they force it up here? I mean, Tommy and Benkai could drop some weapons. Like Tommy could buy an AWP and just, I don't know, take a pistol from someone. I just muted myself. I don't know why. I meant to press the tab button on the on my laptop, and I pressed the mute button on the console.
Struggle on the CT side is just worrying, isn't it? Why is everyone struggling?
I feel like there's a lack of reactive play. Like, you know, let's do this or try that. I don't know. Again, like, there's been so much taking of the apps, and it's caused so many problems over so many rounds, but there's still no one's trying to get a frag in the apartments, you know? So it's crazy. It is crazy, and Boot have gone for the eco. I mean, they've got the round advantage at the very least.
Boots.
They have the round advantage.
They got the Deagle and Bobasaur. Anything's possible. Bobasaur. It's a bloody good name. Right, 3 on B. B for Benkai. Ooh, yeah. Oh no! I respect the attempt there. The jump Deagle. That is never happening. The Deagle has such awful landing inaccuracy as well, so that's something you got to be really careful for. I think it's got like the most the longest landing inaccuracy of any weapon, it feels like. Maybe the AWP or something is worse, I don't know, but it's a super long time. It's quite misleading. Bulbasaur, he creeps in the darkness. And he emerges to deliver justice.
Bulbasaur like a Nidus worm from the crawl space position. And these pistols trying to do what they can. Oh, they are maiming. But there's nobody else left. Surely Bulbasaur doesn't go for it with the AWP. This is an eco round. Tommy has little to lose.
Bulbasaur's escaped with profit. He's like, he's happy, man. He profited here.
It's all good. He's loving life. The Bulbasaur.
It's like I've turned a Deagle into an AWP. Worship me.
The Bulbasaur.
I want to see that Bulbasaur fan club.
You know, I feel like we need to see a bait set up on Inferno. When a CT team is ecoing, have 2 players behind the sandbags, 1 player in the corner with the defuse kit and the other player kind of exposed. So if a T side comes to B and plants the bomb, the guy who's kind of exposed makes it look like he's trying to preempt someone checking the spot and then gets shot and dies. And then they don't check the sandbags properly, and then maybe an injured defuse happens. I need to see this. This is like, I feel like there's good mileage out to try that in a round where you're, you know, USPs or whatever. Well then, they have the AWP boots, and they've got 3 people on Banana. Still, we're not seeing, okay, now we're seeing some aggression in apartments, but it's Tommy with a smoke and a UMP. And I feel like I would have liked to have seen, he actually gets a frag out of it as well, but I would have liked to have seen an AWP here. Bulbasaur, the bomb falling at his feet, and he's been given an AK as well. Bulbasaur can do nothing wrong.
Bulbasaur even gave away the AWP. Bulbasaur is benevolent.
You will see that Bulbasaur is kind.
He is humble. And he is deadly. Fancy. Oh, the white peek around the corner on Arch side. He's going to claim himself an impression. He's claimed the soul of impression. Now Bulbasaur waits on the site in the committed position, ready to anchor. They'll be looking for the player in the pit as well, but this is a nice angle for him. Ooh, 2 more players to go. Bulbasaur delivers 2 more, and there is a final player to go. Z8Z in the pit, and he'll be caught on the reload. Bulbasaur with 4. What a beast, what a man, what a player, what a guy.
Bulbasaur. He has been almost iconic for his team so far. This Deagle across multiple maps.
Yeah.
This Deagle is ruining lives.
He is just their best player, isn't he? It seemed that way across the maps, at least. He's been the most dangerous individual.
He is feeling himself, and he's put BOOT 2 rounds away from victory as the underdog versus Vichy in this best of 3. Flash from Splash. Bulbasaur continues to be a problem. He's all over the place with 3 Bulbasaur running out for his Deagle. Oh! He's doing massive damage. All of a sudden, backs to the wall.
Bulbasaur is electric, just shocking everyone.
Nothing is more dangerous than a cornered Bulbasaur.
Oh my god. Freeman on 13 HP looking for a pick into the A site. They hear the scoping. They know he's there. They got nades, if they want to use them. Oh, there's a smoke. No escape. I don't know if that actually cuts him off, but... Oh, well, that was for balcony. Never mind. Never mind. Oh, they'll push him out of position. Nice flash coming in to prevent the Molotov actually ending up in being a kill. And now Lovey is just in the open here. Going to spot 1 down. 3 more to go. And Splash Ski will do the damage. Bulbasaur is God. He's just absolutely
even see that
owning it right now. What a beautiful play. He completely won the round by himself there. And as you say, James, you know, that has put BOOT out of the most desperate of positions. He has grabbed them by the scruff of the neck, and he is launching them over the finish line, or he's trying to do so. 1 more round to go to achieve such a feat, and there is another buy here. But Impression starts it off with a headshot. Freeman goes down. apartments will be claimed by VG once again, but they are in a 4v5, and Bobasaur is still in mids, trying to cause problems. He's playing alone here in mids. Shokin goes for a peek. Bobasaur still gets the frag, though. Now he's going to back away. 5v3. Boots. They're on the verge. The cusp of victory. And they do not want to throw it away. They play 2-3 on the B and A site, respectively, in the most passive setup, in the most safe way they can. It's going to take something special for VG to take this round back away from Boots.
You feel the tension now. VG know they can make no more mistakes. That's a big frag from FACEIT. 3-on-2 on the A bomb site. Bobasaur in a different position. Oh, he can't take down the balcony player, but Z8Z 1 versus 3. He's got to move quickly before this rotation comes in from the B bomb site. Coming up mid, but he has to assume they're closer. He has to assume there might be Arch or something. And Splash will get the final frag. 16-12 in favor of Boot. An upset here. They have upset so far, and I think it continues.
Bobasaur goes 30 for 16 with an incredible performance at the end. Well, just generally, but when they needed it the most, he absolutely stepped up and delivered. That is awesome to see. And I don't know, I'm just happy, man. His name's Bobasaur, for God's sake.
I know.
What
you can't even be mad. You can't even be mad. The guy's name is Bobasaur. Like, you can't be raging at that. I can't believe that Bobasaur, man. This doesn't sound good, does it? You just can't rage. That was craziness from him, but what an interesting map of Inferno. I mean, it did go the way I thought it would, in the sense that I thought the T sides would absolutely dominate. But I think what they can take away from that, at least on their CT sides, is that I think there's more proactiveness to be done. There's more aggression to be done to take the game back when it's being taken away from them by a T side so much with the map controller giving them to that point. Like, just all the shenanigans we saw in the apartments, in the balcony and so on. Not once did we really, apart from one time with a smoke and the UMP on Tommy, not once did we really see any aggression from the CTs in apartments, for example. Something to slow down the T side and say, this isn't always for free, guys. You need to be careful and make sure, you know, maybe use some extra flashbangs, something like that. Freya is on the floor with the winners.
Thank you very much, James. Yes, I'm here with Impression from Boots. So congratulations on that win. How are you feeling coming off of that?
We're feeling pretty good. Of course, thank you for the congratulations. I think playing like Bobasaur, Leslie, really stepped up on the last map for us. And I think he really proved his worth as stand-in. So yeah, feeling great. I think looking forward to the game against Renegades. Hopefully do better this time. So
you just mentioned Bobasaur had an amazing game. How does he fit in within the team?
I think on the terrorist side, I mean, he's more or less a stand-in. So he's playing a lot of free flow. As you can see, we gave him a lot of freedom, especially on the CD side. He was hitting like nutty shots. And well, he did his job as a stand-in, and that's great.
So I briefly just want to go back to Cash. It didn't work out so well for you guys. VG managed to beat you. What did you refocus on going into Dust 2?
I think Dust 2, because, I mean, it was their map pick, Cash. It's a map that I think is kind of hard to play with a stand-in, especially on the CD side. So to be honest, I think for Dust 2, we just played confident. We knew that we could win it for sure. We had good practice with Bobasaur for Dust 2, so yeah, we managed to get our game plan going, managed to roll it, and then just win from there on.
So was that the same confidence that you brought into Inferno and you managed to clinch the win there?
Yeah, I think especially on the T side, you could see we did really good on T side. Took us a while to recover on the CD side. Took us a while to adjust, but huge credits to our coach Alex. All the pauses during the CD side, you could see it really definitely helped us pull off the win.
So both teams actually had really great sides on T side. Why do you think that was?
Asian CS.
Very aggressive, it seems, yeah.
Give an Asian an AK, they'll pop hits for you, so yeah.
So you're going to be going up against Renegades in your next match, which will be actually for a qualification spot. How are you feeling going into this?
I think we played Renegades enough to kind of have a feel of how they play, so hopefully we adjust in time, especially because after everything we've been through today, I think mentally we are pretty tired, but we just get a game plan going and hopefully it just works out for us.
Cool, thank you so much and good luck in your next game. We're going to head back over to the analyst desk.
Thank you very much, Freya. Yes, indeed, Boot have done it. They have secured this W here over VG. And I guess we could really start, maybe, Chad, maybe on the T sides. What do you think?
Yeah, I wanted to grab that point that he just made there, talking about the T sides. It's got nothing to do with the counter-strike in terms of the region. It's when you do have the stand-in factor, the T-sides can be a little bit easier, especially on a map like Inferno, because as soon as you lose bomb sites, it's much more difficult to rotate in. We already know how hard Inferno is to retake those sites as well, and when you don't have the level of cohesion and the protocols for how you're going to go about those scenarios with the stand-in in place, they're usually one of the last things you look at doing. You want to fix your defaults, you want to fix your strats on the T-side, you want to show him a couple smokes. The last thing you're doing is showing him CT rotation. So these are a couple of issues that do definitely play into the hands of this matchup, but it felt like it could go either way throughout the entirety of this series.
Here is an issue for VG. Bulbasaur was popping off.
Yeah.
It was happening. Bobo the man.
Bobo.
Now, here's what I kind of want to look at as we look at numbers. My goodness, 111 ADR. Think about what a sticker would look like in the game for Bulbasaur. What do you do? Do you draw like a dinosaur, or like how does that work?
You can mint money that way, right? It could be anything. It doesn't have to be dinosaur. It could be like I don't know, a plesiosaur, one of those water creatures or whatever. Anyway, I think the final map was
Platypus?
I don't know, plesiosaur. It's like I used to like read up a lot about dinosaurs.
Dinosaurs, all right.
Yeah, it's like an ancient water thing.
Okay.
Anyway, I think that was that particular map was we saw Zoking bottom fragging for Vici, but I think it was a story told between the two stand-ins, so to speak, right?
Sure.
Z,
stark contrast, really, isn't it?
Z8 or Z8Z. I'm never going to say that ever again. Z8Z was playing from pit, a very tough position, a very crucial position, especially on the CD side, right? And he was really struggling. He was struggling getting frags here and there. That A bomb side was leaky, was very, very leaky. And on the other hand, Bulbasaur kind of bailed Boot out from a pretty rough spot, right? 30 bomb on the final map for a stand-in. That's the sort of stand-in you want.
Yeah, he really got it done there. I think, props to him. They have to be thankful that he did that. Otherwise, this game definitely in series would have gone in the favor of Vici, because that was a monstrous performance from the man himself.
The Bobo.
Big Bobs.
Big Bobo coming in hot with the frags when he needed to. Now, we watched this game backstage, and we kind of wondered, like, yes, this is back and forth. This isn't, like, very, dare I say, conventional Counter-Strike.
It was messy.
There were some messy times, but what can Boot take away from this going forward?
What can I take away from this? Well, they're facing Renegades next, right? I mean,
Chad looks a little upset. Did I say something?
No, it's just, what can you say about that one? Like, they're screwed.
You know what we could take away from this? Let's take away some head-to-head comparisons, I think, will be what we take away from this. But it will be – it's not going to happen, actually. I take that all back and scratch that. Never happened. Chad, I'm sorry I upset you. Blake, you had a point?
Fine.
No point in particular. I'm just saying that they've just landed, like, at 5 o'clock in the morning. They had 3 hours to get to London, get to the event, and they played the first game. This is their second game, and now they're going to be facing against Renegades, who are going to be feeling very, very, fresh and
talk about
a little hungry. Let's say.
Talk about if you're Boot, you came in here under really bad circumstances, so to say. It wasn't like optimal, but you came in here with a ton of heart. You came in here and you played your heart out.
Is this an American movie at this point?
I mean, it could be.
Yeah, we could turn it into like one of those Mighty Ducks, Goodfield stories.
Yeah, just deking the puck behind the net.
The triple deke.
Yeah.
Goldberg. Anyway, we're making references to people. Our target audience doesn't even know what we're talking about at this point. But no, I get what you're saying. They are hungry, and it could be like one of these Cinderella stories where, hey, they just got on this flight. They just traveled the better part of 24 hours. They've come here and they've upset the team like the Renegades. But Blair's point, I think, is pretty nice in the sense of they're going to be playing a series back-to-back here where it could potentially be 6 or 7 maps of CS.
And it could be beneficial, or the gas could run out. We do actually have some demos loaded up. The first one's going to be with Blair, where, in fact, Flash by Boot. So how do we want to talk about this one? I believe it's on Cash?
Yeah, this was in Cash, right? There was a really... It was a map which Vici won eventually, but I think it was a really cool round where it kind of shows a mistake that Vici made. They were going for this A execute. You can see them making their way towards A. This one doesn't show the timer. There's exactly 30 seconds remaining. And this flashbang, perfect flashbang, completely shut things down before anything really took place. So I think that was a very good read coming in from Dreamscape. And at the same time, it was a timing. It's the way Vici were telegraphing the fact that they're going to be going for the A hit. There was 30 seconds remaining on the clock. And a perfectly timed flashbang. Just call it the counter flash.
Yeah, nice little triple kill there. There was a lot of these A splits that felt like they were coming out because Vici were getting mid control a lot. It was something they were going for.
Yeah.
And when you do, you have to adjust, and there is a good sign from Boot being able to adjust as they lost the
just
previous
a little too
round.
late though, but
exactly right. But at least the adjustments were made, so that's a good sign. That's a positive sign. Silver linings.
Yes,
We're
there
trying
it
to
is.
be positive people here.
Positivity from Chad Burchill, something that you see sometimes. It's rather elusive for the Spud himself. But let's talk about this next round we have loaded up here. Blay, you've picked out another round. I believe this one is on Inferno. So we can begin to dive into this one.
Yeah, Inferno, I really, really, really enjoyed watching Dreamscape's T-side, right? It was phenomenal. I think they had really, really good executes and just getting a lot of map control. Also helped out by the fact that VG were just giving up everything. They were just giving up apps and mid and banana and everything. But I think the first round, the T-pistol round, was very telling. This kind of set the stage for how they're going to be doing the T-side. So firstly, they bought a couple of smokes. They had a number of flashbangs. They went for the fast smoke execute over here, but it was a fake. And that drew out the rotation. 4 CT stacked over here. They even threw in their own smoke. In the meantime, 2 Ts waiting over in banana. They went for the pincer play towards the B-bomb side. Very methodical. They had his game plan in mind, and they went about it. Unfortunately, there was this man waiting for them. It was Freeman just tapping heads. But if he hadn't got that double kill, I think that round should have really gone the way of
Wait, so you're living in a land of ifs and buts?
Yeah, that's cool. I like it.
I haven't been in that place in a very long time. Sure, the execute looked smooth, but it didn't work. So I'm going to give them a big red cross.
Vetoed out.
I'm going to say...
It doesn't work that way, though? Is this like a game show or something?
Well, it's kind of like Theory Strike, right? It can be fun. It can be somewhat tempting to say, oh, my goodness, what if, maybe, perhaps. But the hard-hitting facts are that Vici did not win this game. That is exactly what happened.
That is the facts. 100% the facts. And another fact of the matter is...
I never go 50%, Chad.
You're 100%, 100% of the time.
Yep.
I like that. You're a man who knows what he wants.
Here's 100% of the brackets, Chad. Walk me through these brackets. We're going to fly them in. And I want you to tell me about this day here at the minors.
Japan. You ever heard of them in the Counter-Strike scene? I'm pretty sure you haven't. They have upset Renegades here, and you can see in that matchup the upper bracket game where they've gone through and they've already qualified for the playoff stages, which will be going down on Wednesday, I believe. Renegades getting upset, getting knocked to the lower bracket. We just saw Vici versus Boot. Then go on, then Vici's the first team to be knocked out of this Group A. Boot continued to survive on little sleep and just off the aircraft, and they'll have to rematch Renegades, which they lost to 16-8 earlier in the day on train. So it's going to be interesting to see if that map crops up again, who's going to pick it, and now there is a chance for a punish because we did see how weak Renegades were on Dust 2.
Well, the thing with Renegades, at least, I'm sure they weren't happy about that result earlier. I'm sure they said, hey, we're going to go back to the drawing board and try to figure this one out. Just like you can win this draw right now. We're doing a giveaway with about 1 billion kajillion points. I made that number up. It's not even a real number. Head over to FACEITMajor.com/giveaway. Pick yourself up a chance to win, I think it's 15 million.
This is the 2 million point giveaway.
Oh, 2 million. Just 2.
15 million points is if you have your YouTube account linked up with your FACEIT account and you're watching over there, you can get drops in the chat.
Which you can actually do. It's pretty easy to link the accounts together. So there's literally no excuse for you to not go ahead and do it. With that being said, we're going to go to a quick break. When we come back, it's going to be Boot versus the Renegades in the final best of 3 of the day. And you damn sure don't want to miss this one. So make sure you're here with us when we come back.